Peek-a-boo, I see you through the crane of this guy. This, of course, is the Legacy Titan class version of Cybertron Metroplex. This is on loan to me by friend of the channel, Maximal10. We recently looked at the original Metroplex, and now we're going to look at this Titanic bad boy, baby. Plus the DNA design upgrade kit that adds a couple of extra parts, it adds new hands, and it even adds Drillbit. Everything to do with this Titan and the upgrade kit. That's going to be our focus this time around in the latest GotBot True Review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, light them up, baby, and hit the notification bell. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that's in the description down below, also in the description down below, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, and of course, you can hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. You're gonna have to excuse me a little bit. I just kind of done the review of this guy, and because of the very strong ratchets, man, he's quite a workout to get done in all three of his modes. Not to mention that we're going to talk about the DNA design upgrade kit and kind of how those parts are incorporated here, as well as how Drillbit is able to be incorporated. Now, I'm not going to lie, when we get to Drillbit, I do have a shoulder and an elbow that kind of regularly pops off, so I tried to show the transformation there as best I could on a guy that's pretty much like a Legends core class size. But if it's not the super cleanest thing in the world, then my apologies. It was totally because I popped off the ball joint, which I explain, at least for the shoulder, why that happens later on. It has nothing to do with like poor molding or anything like that. This, of course, is his Wheel-Bucket Excavator mode. I'm probably in the review going to show a real Wheel-Bucket Excavator so you can see how big it is. And we're going to talk about the scale and whether or not this is actually accurate or not. All of that and more when we head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. Ooh, let's lean that a little forward. Here we are, and we're going to start with the box for the Legacy Titan class Cybertron Metroplex. Not my Metroplex, but I'm excited to take a look at this. Of course, up in the corner, we know we have the Nemesis, which of course we now know came out in Evolution. Poor Inferno over here is having a he's having a rough day, man. He's having a rough day as he meets face to face the Spark Drinker, of course. Down here, Kickback's having an okay day. He's not blowing to pieces, but you know, he's certainly thrown aside. I feel like this scale's a bit off, but you know what? I'm not angry about it. And I'll explain that as we go through. On this side of the box, we have more of Metroplex. This time, it looks like he's in his work mode because he has that different face. On the top of the box, we see him in his alt mode. Trying to avoid the light here, sorry. We see him in his alt mode, the Bucket Excavator, which is, by rights, a pretty large vehicle, if I'm being honest. This side, we just have the usual, like, Legacy artwork. This one had the Autobot artwork, big shock. And, on the back, we have really, all of his modes here, the work mode. I guess this is supposed to be showing how this attaches to the back, I suppose? I guess? And, of course, his bucket excavator mode over here. If you've been around the channel for a long time, then you know that, as far as I'm concerned, a Titan should be a base or city. This isn't, but it is a big vehicle. In fact, an actual bucket excavator looks something like this. And you can see right there that, like, it's large. Right there in the parking lot, there's a couple of regular sized vehicles. So this is quite quite big. But that's kind of it for the box, and I guess for a little bit of an analysis of the bucket excavator mode. He also comes with this giganto sheet of instructions, which for the most part it's actually pretty effective for this guy. Luckily he has big, like, chunky pieces to move for the most part anyway. However, we're very lucky. Maximal 10 not only gave us this on loan to look at, but he has also installed the DNA design kit, which includes Drillbit, a new piece for the spark drinker, a couple of filler pieces, and brand new hands. We'll talk about that when we get to them. And so here we have our gigantic boy standing up. This is where we're going to start. The robot mode is where we will begin. And you may notice that I have Nova Prime and Vector Prime here. Here's why. You know me, I'm a big scale junkie, right? And I said that when I looked at the original Cybertron Metroplex from 2005-2006, I said that this was a bit too big. It should come up to about his head should come up to about this curve here, or the red. And I said then that that one, that's probably about a foot tall or so, probably should have been 15, 16 inches. However, now I'm looking at this guy at his 22 inches, and I'm feeling like this is the right scale, actually. Bigger than I thought the correct scale would be, but I think this is actually the right scale. Because this guy is the same mold as Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime, and Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime should come up to about here, as should Vector Prime, and that's the original Vector Prime. I think that this is about right for scale. Color me absolutely impressed. Let's talk about, however, his look and the scores for that based on the animation model. We're going to start from the feet and work our way up the entire body. Let's just take this guy out of it. And this guy out of it. We'll see some more comparisons in just a few moments, honestly. But let's do the score for the look of the guy first. Starting from the feet, working our way up, like I said. This blue here shouldn't be here, but I'm not angry about it being there. The white is correct. This blue detailing in here is correct. This joint here is correct. The red, the blue, all correct. The blue up on his hips, correct. Arguably, maybe should be a little bit lighter, but that's arguable. We have the gray, the red, the blue, all here correct. By the way, this moves up and down. When it moves up, it looks a little bit incorrect for the way it should be. It should probably be around right there, to be honest with you, but pushing it all the way down, you know, is the way it's supposed to be. This doesn't have anything to do really with transformation. However, pushing it up does allow the leg to go ahead 2 extra clicks. So make of that what you will. The tummy is what it is. I do have this flap that a lot of times gets forgotten about, pulled out. It is now barred up into his tummy, so to speak. But I mean, I guess if I really wanted to bring it down the rest of the way, like if I wanted it down like that, I certainly could have it down like that. It's kind of up to you. It's just I don't like the gap here, so I tend to push it up to kind of solidify the gap in. But like the blue here is correct, the red here is correct. The blue up here is correct. The head looks correct. I mean, the blue here on the shoulders generally correct. The Autobot logo. This white maybe should be gray, but that's debatable. The blue on the forearms, I'm not sure about the silver here, but I'm going to give it to him. Much like the original, I'm going to say if this isn't a 10, man, it's a 9.75. And we'll stick with the 9.75 in case there are imperfections that I'm not aware of off the hop. Now, 9.75, excellent start. Let's just see him next to his original counterpart that comes up to about his waist. This is about the size of a current, modern day, in 2023, 2024, commander-ish class size when we talk about something like commander class Jetfire, for example. So, yeah, you know, that seems okay. I'm going to take him out of it. And we're going to bring in just a couple of Titans here. Here is Black Zarek as a comparison. Let me just put those feet down for now. Black Zarek here as a comparison. Like, again, quite comparable. This guy might be a touch taller, but just a touch. They're very comparable. And of course, the one that matters, I think, probably the most Metroplex to Metroplex. Let's just actually move these over. Oh, just a little bit to get both of them kind of in there. Let me just sort of check here. Yeah, I mean, this one is slightly taller. I think this is 22 inches. I think this is 24 inches. I think this guy has a little more kind of bulk to his body, if you will. And of course, his white is not so much of a brilliant white as a slightly off-white. I don't remember if he was a brilliant white when I initially got him or not. Now it's been so many years. I never get tired of this. I said it when this guy was announced. I'm not a Unicron Trilogy guy at all, not in the least. But I am to a point in my life and my collecting where not everything has to be for me. And I remember how smitten, I remember how ecstatic I was when I got the Generations Metroplex, especially since I got them aftermarket. And to this day, I never ever, not for 1 second, do I ever get tired of this guy. I adore him. I sincerely hope that people that have waited to get a bigger version of Cybertron Metroplex, like maybe you had the original and always thought he was a little small or something, as great as he is. I hope that Unicron Trilogy fans who have been waiting for this are as ecstatic about the Cybertron Metroplex as I was about getting this Metroplex. I really sincerely hope that for other people. And you know what? At a start of a 9.75, that's a heck of a beginning. Really, really a heck of a beginning. We're going to bring him back over here. Now, before we get to the articulation and stuff with him, let's look at his accessory and the DNA Design Minicon first. However, I do want to point out that I find it very interesting that this was the first Titan that did not come with some smaller bot of some sort. Whether it was a Legends class like Scamper with Metroplex, whether it was a Deluxe like Full Tilt, or probably Mainframe, I think, with the Arc was probably a Deluxe. I think some people might have said it was a Voyager, but I'd say he's a Deluxe. You know, I mean, even the Headmasters for Fort Max and Scorponok and Black Zarek, right, would be a smaller bot. This guy doesn't have a smaller bot, I think because of the Giganto accessory. So it's nice that DNA Design is able to add that. So we're going to take Metroplex out of it for a moment and just look at the Spark Drinker first. However, I will show you now that even with the extra piece put in here, and we'll talk about it more, this can still kind of fold up on the side, and this is able to move back and forth still on his back. We have 2 connection points here. Maximal 10 only had it connected by 1, the top one I believe. And you can do that and leave this down straight. But that's totally up to you. I've done it the right way because I wanted to show you guys the right way. And it should just, if I'm not mistaken, oh, it's in there tight though, but it should just pull off like that. And you'll notice that the Spark Drinker did come apart. We'll talk about that in just a moment when I get Metroplex here out of the way. And so this is the accessory along with the first part of the DNA Design upgrade kit, which is this extra ratchet. So without it, when you plug this piece into this piece, you have a ratchet up here, you have a ratchet, take that out, right here. But this kind of sticks off the back and cannot angle down, and this gives you a new ratchet so that this last piece can angle down. It just has the exact same connection as the other 2 pieces, and the nice thing is, once it's in here, I find when you just put the 2 pieces together, it's a little bit loose, but once it's in here, it's really, really not loose at all. I'm going to turn this around, actually. You can use these 2 ports here and put Drillbit up there if you're so inclined. I don't know if I can show that now. I don't think I can show that right now. I'll show that when we get to it. I'll show that when we get to looking at Drillbit. Okay, so at this point now, these can move. I mean, you can do kind of what you like with them, really. This is the handle that can come up and around and go in his hand. He can hold onto this, and that's how he's able to kind of hold the whole thing. This rotates around, which is neat. And on this side, we do have built in the 2 pieces that are blue on the original. And when you push it forward, these open up and your Cyber Planet key goes in here to open this out. We don't have a Cyberplanet key, no opening, no nothing here. Which, you know, that's whatever, that's fine. I'm not angry about it or anything, but it's just worth noting. With the DNA design piece on now, you can actually angle this down. You couldn't do that before, really. If you wanted to do that before, the best you were going to get was this hinge here, and that's more for angling this than it is anything else. So make of it what you will. Lot of ratchets here, man. Lot of ratchets. Heck of an accessory though. Really, really, really well done. Nicely molded. All of this molded in detail and painted gold and the red paint. Very nicely done version of the Spark Drinker. So you probably didn't expect me to start off with the Spark Drinker again, but here he is attached. The arms are not quite right, but I followed the instructions and I don't know where or how these are supposed to tab in exactly, so I just don't do it. I put them in about the right position, and then I attach them to the, I don't know what to call it, bucket, I guess. And you know what? Not for nothing, but like, it's very solid. It opens and closes. I mean, it does what it's supposed to do, right? This is what's called Weapon Mode B. I don't know, these two drills are a weapon, I guess. So I'm going to take him off of there, and all we have is, on the bottom of his feet, we have two 5mm circular ports. Actually, front ones and back ones. I find you got to use the back ones. And we have two circular ports right there. And that's how we attach them to the Spark Drinker. So let's get the Spark Drinker out of it so we can focus more on Drillbit himself. And let's go to Weapon Mode A this time. Gosh, I hope I do this right. I really, really hope I do this right. And I don't know for sure if I will, but we're gonna see. So here's our peg. And it should be very simple. We should just be able to bring this down, and I believe we turn it around, and I believe we open these legs out and bring them up over, and now bend them this way and bring them together, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. No, not quite right. I bring this little tab up over. Okay, so I bring this little black tab up over and I put it into the back. Then I take both of these legs and they go down and together like this. And the arms, oh, I just knocked that one off. Not good, man, not good. They go flipped out this way and then turn in, and they kind of notch into little, when we flip the hand now has a little rectangular tab on it that goes into a little notch down here on the tummy, basically. There we go. There we go. Gosh. In? Yeah. Okay, so there's two things you got to do with this arm, and I guess I should put this arm back on. And I know I didn't show it there very well, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to show it very well now, but man, I'm going to try. And I just knocked that arm. I'll say this, the tolerances could be a little bit better on Drillbit, if I'm being real honest about it. I do find that his bits and pieces do like to pop off, which is surprising. I really like DNA design, and I'm a bit surprised that his ball joints pop like they do, at least on the shoulders. Anyway, I digress. We have to do two things with the arm. You may notice now that this is off. There's a rectangular tab here. The hollow slot on the inside of the bicep goes over that rectangular tab, and then the hand has its own little notch on it that goes into, of course, a slot right here. But you don't leave the hand straight like this. You will have the hand, if I can do it, kind of, is that the right way? Holy moly. I know I was stumbling over showing this, so I wanted to show it up close. We use the tabs that are on the hands, and the hands are kind of like angled in, like at the wrist like this, sort of. But that's how they go in there. And then we would use this port and put it onto, oh, that port and put it onto Metroplex's arm thusly. And man, oh man, I am sorry that I really stumbled over, especially this arm, because it did pop off at the shoulder and at the elbow. Not for nothing. It's easy to pop on, and it was because I was pushing it away where, I'm not going to say it shouldn't be pushed, but how can I put this? When you see ball joints pop, if you're anything like me, your immediate concern is, oh, well that's probably loosey-goosey or a misshapen ball joint or something like that. It's none of those things. It popped on no problem. It's just where this is so small, it can pop a little easier. The tolerance is pretty good, and it might just be this copy that's just ever so slightly, I don't want to even say mistolerance because it's not that, but it was just something worth noting that the arm does tend to sometimes pop off. Just easy to put it back on. Okay, to do the vehicle mode, very simple. There you go. That's, as best as I can tell, that's pretty much it. Now, as I say that, I also find that he likes to fall forward. So I don't know if this is necessarily the best way for this to go, honestly. And not for nothing, but here's the original drill bit next to him with darker blues, and he doesn't. However, when I did the review of the original Metroplex, I did think that these were folded up like this. That was a mistake on my part. And with this guy, I do find if I fold these up over, I find it works a heck of a lot better. I really, 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 really do. I know they're supposed to be out, but I just find that this works a heck of a lot better. Okay, so taking the original drill bit out of it, you could see the comparisons there. Obviously, the DNA Design one is in the scheme, the realm of drill bit, but obviously a little bit stylized. Okay, let's do the transformation to robot mode for this guy, which is actually pretty easy, pretty good. We straighten out those legs, we fold these up, and these are the feet. They come down, and these can come up, and they kind of come on the side of the leg a little bit, which is to its credit, you'll see in a few minutes. I already, if you didn't already have this little black piece tabbed in on the back, do so now, because that's what kind of locks the waist in place. I suppose if you want it down and keep a waist, rotation, and ab crunch, you can. I mean, that's up to you, but I mean, he might bend forward a little bit when you don't want him to, but I mean, that's up to you. I'm going to leave it down for now. Straighten out that arm and that fist, straighten out that arm and that fist. Now, turn at the elbow. Ah, didn't pop off. Let's try this one. Turn at the elbow. Ah, didn't pop off there either. Good. And we got to pull the head up. Bit of a chore, I do find, to get the head up here. You know what? I am going to lock this in just so I can get the head up. I'm going to get the head up, and then we'll talk about this guy a little bit. And boom, in the end, we have Drillbit next to Drillbit. This guy is about the size of a Legends class, Core class offering. Of course, this guy a bit smaller than that. I already went through this guy, but you can see comparatively very similar. If anything, I think I like the shade of blue used here a little bit better. So taking him out of it, the articulation on this guy, the head can go left and right. If you push it down, you got to make sure that the back of the head is actually at the back. You might have to turn the head around while it's in there, make sure the face is to the front. That's the easiest way to pull it up. Mine had worked itself around to be backwards. This piece here can move forward and back. The arm's not going to get all the way around. Oh no, we'll get all the way around. I apologize. This doesn't get in the way. In terms of going out to the side, that's about as far as I can get. Maybe, can I get that? No, that's about as far out as I can get. I'd like a little more out, I'm not going to lie. And part of why it pops off the ball joint is because I try to push it out further. Elbow to 90 degrees, and we have a rotation because of the ball joint. The hands, I mean, they're here. They can go in, no rotation or anything. The waist, I already talked about that with this little tab. So you can have a waist, you can have an ab crunch. Legs all the way forward, legs all the way back. A wiggle, a thigh wiggle up here. And then when we get to the knee, luckily, this has just enough of a give that it can go to the outside of the leg to give you a 90-degree knee. foot forward, foot back, and ankle tilt, a little ankle tilt to the side. Not a bad drill bit, not perfect, but not bad. Overall, this drill bit, I'm gonna say it's about an 8. And now we're back to Metroplex, who is already getting a 9.75 because of his look. I wanted to start out zoned in on his head because his head is wild. So, a couple of things to note here. 1, it can go all the way around. 2, it can look up. 3, doesn't really look down a lot, but it can look down a bit. No, I take that back. It can look down because we have a number of joints in here, really. The head also can slide back and slide forward. I'm not sure the point of that, but it can do it. The mouth, the lower jaw can open. So he has an open mouth as well. And of course it can close. And we can turn this around. We can split these and bring them up and over? Or do I have to go down and around? I thought I could come up and over with them though. Yeah, I can. I can bring this around to this side and this around to, I thought, this side. Oh, yes, I can. And then put them together. And this is the other head. This is the head for his work mode. So I'm actually going to leave the head like that now. All we did is turn the head around, take the 2 blue pieces, bring them around, and put them together to cover his other face, and leave these down. I suppose if you really wanted, you could put these back up. That's up to you. I think, however, you're supposed to leave them down. So I'm going to do that for now, even though we have to go through the rest of Metroplex's transformation. We've already got the head done, so let's back things up a bit. Okay, so we've got the jaw already done. We've talked about the articulation of the head. It is magnificent. Let's try and do the rest of the articulation next so we can do that score. Keeping in mind that this is the start of the transformation to his work mode. I'm going to note as well right now, right here on the back, that if you want, this can go up and this can go in when you don't have the spark drinker on there. That's up to you, or you could leave both of them out. Whatever works for you, really. And, of course, this is able to move. We're going to get to a point where this will have to close up because it becomes part of the transformation for his vehicle mode. Okay, I'm also going to note that, I'll do this now since we're here. Right here and right here are both hollow on the original and hollow on this one. And DNA Design fills this piece in. I suppose you could cover it up with those blasters, but it fills this piece in. I think it's to its credit. So for the DNA Design kit, we have the extra part for the spark drinker that gives it an extra ratchet. We have these 2 fillers, and we have, of course, Drillbit, who I would argue should have been included all along, but that's just me. We're going to go down here. Okay, let's do the rest of this. So the head, astonishingly good. If you want to pull this piece out, then that gives you a forward ab crunch. It's for transformation, but it's there. I tend to not have the ab crunch because I don't want the gap here, so I bring this up. I guess we can still got a bit of an ab crunch. Ab crunch is cool. Waist. Dude has a waist. I already talked about this, able to move up and down. We're going to leave it up because it does help with the articulation later on. The shoulders are on super heavy ratchets. And oh boy. Whew, it's a workout. Those ratchets at the shoulders are a workout. Very heavy ratchets at the shoulders. Very heavy ratchets out from the shoulders, and I mean, a double shoulder? Come on, man. That's very cool. 90 degrees at the elbow and a swivel. We're going to talk about the hands in just a couple of minutes. Not only a bicep swivel, but a forearm swivel as well. So we have 2 swivels, forearm and bicep. Let's bring this up out of it. When we get down to the lower body, of course, we have a waist, as already pointed out. This piece is already pointed out. I mean, way out past like normal splits. Bring that down. And go, you like way back, up over his back. way forward. If we bring that piece up even higher forward, if that waist piece is down, then I mean you still kind of get to here before it starts to push up. Like, it's impressive. But that's why this moves, I think. Whew. Okay, what else do we have here? We have a knee to 90 degrees, much like the original. If you wanted to give him a chicken leg, I suppose you could because of this. We have an ankle that goes forward and back. We have toes that can go up and down. We have an ankle tilt, though it's a small ankle tilt, and oddly, for some reason, that detaches and can go down, but I don't see any reason why that would detach. But hey, it can. I mean, gosh, let's get you back set up there. I mean, for articulation, I've done everything now but the hands, and I'm telling you now, the hands, the DNA hands, I think the official ones do give you a wrist swivel, but I think the official ones have a fixed thumb, as where this one has a, you know what? How about I go close on it like I did with the head? Okay, so it still has the wrist rotation like the original. There's a base pin, I think it's a base pin. I think it's a hinge into a ball joint. I think it's a hinge into a ball joint. So that moves out now. We do have one thumb knuckle here, that's a base pin. Out here, each of these fingers is individually articulated with a secondary and a tertiary hinge, so you can fold his hands all up. The fingers are, I should note, all the same length. That's the one thing about hand upgrade kits that drive me nuts. I don't want the fingers to be all the same length. That's not the way fingers are, naturally. They can get pretty much what you would want, though. I think this is the way the hand always should have been. I think on the official, not only is the thumb fixed, but I think the rest of the hand does open, but only at like the knuckle here, the first knuckle, and I think that it's all one piece. Somebody can correct me on that if I'm wrong. So these hands, way better, great feeling material, excellent, excellent hands. So we have Drillbit, we have these excellent hands, we have the filler pieces on the shoulders, and we have the extra part for the spark drinker. Heck of a set. The DNA design set, overall for what it adds, I think Drillbit is quintessential. I think these hands are quintessential, even if you didn't have the extra couple of bits. I'm going to say that the DNA set is solid 8.5. Solid 8.5. You don't need it, but it certainly adds something to it. As it is for articulation, including the DNA design hands, I'm going to have to give it a 10. Without the DNA design hands, I would still give it about a 9.8, 9.9. I would say, hey, it'd be nice if the fingers were individually articulated. I've heard how well articulated this guy is. I've heard it for a long time. Little did I realize how wildly well articulated he actually is. Really something special, something very, very, very impressive here. No doubt about it. I do find, however, you may have noticed that I was really, when I was doing the shoulders, I was really holding onto the body, because I do find that the shoulders will sometimes make this piece and the piece on the back kind of come unattached because the ratchet is so strong. But I've seen a couple of reviews where the ratchets here, while strong, don't seem to be as strong and tight as they are on Maximal 10's copy. So that might be something that varies ever so slightly. But a 9.75 and a 10, I mean, we're looking at like, I don't know, a 9.8. This thing is almost perfect at this point. Let's see how the transformation goes. We're going to go to work mode first. And boy, oh boy, do I hope I can actually remember how to do this. Okay, let's get into it. We got the head already done. We're going to begin by straightening out that arm and straightening out that arm for now. Yeah, we're going to open the arm, and I don't know exactly how the DNA design hand is supposed to go in here, so I usually just sort of like finagle it around till it till it fits in. That seems good. And does it seem good? Maybe not. Let's see here. Can I do it this way? Can I do it this way? Maybe this is the best way for me to do it. Yeah, I think that's the best way for me to do it. Where I put the pinky in first. And then this closes down. Yeah, put the pinky in first. There you go. So if you got the DNA design hands, turn the hand around, I guess put in the thumb and the fingers, and then put the whole hand up and bring it down. Great, cool. We're going to, how do I want to do this next? I think we're going to go to the back here, and we're going to bring this out, and we're going to bring this out, and then these pieces come out and they solidify on thusly. Then this all picks up and we fold in. You probably can't see because it's got off screen. That little tab that's under the chest, we fold that in. I'm going to see if I can show it over here because he is going up. This piece here untabs. We fold this in and we're going to bring all this up for now. Now, this is where things start to get interesting with this upper body. We need to turn them at the waist, and then we need to bring all of this down. And hold on there. One moment till I get reoriented. Yeah, okay. Bring this down, and this up. Open the top black piece, and then this should, yeah, we untab it from the bottom here and we bring it all the way around back here and tab it in. And tab it in. Tab it in. Close this up. Bring that down. And I guess you can leave that arm up like that for now if you're so inclined. Ooh, I hope I'm doing this right. I really hope I'm doing this right. I might be doing this wrong. We'll see. Actually, you know what? I am doing this wrong. Man, okay, let's do this now. I turn them at the waist. I don't think you do. I think you leave them like this because, yeah, this comes down. Right. And when this is up and out, the whole thing swings around. Ah, yes. I was forgetting that. My apologies. There we go. We swing that piece around and then we bring this down. Right. So we don't turn it at the waist. We turn it at the head, basically. And then that kind of comes just down over the front of the body there. Okay, over here, this arm, we open the black section up here. We take the entire shoulder ratchet and we bring it up and we tab it in and we close this up and we bring that arm down. Now we have the gold waist. So we didn't need to turn them at the waist. We needed to basically take this whole piece and have our shoulders here out of the way so that the whole thing could turn. That's what it is. My mistake, and I apologize. This is why I like the DNA design set here, because now this piece and this piece that are his shoulders, instead of being hollow now, are, I don't know, filled in, I guess. Okay, let's do the lower body next. By the way, I guess I should double check this. Yeah, we can turn these around like this and turn this one around like this. I guess you could bend them back the other way if you want, but I think that this is the way it's supposed to go and keep the treads down at the bottom, I think. Lower body now is kind of genius. So we bring the knee all the way forward, we fold this all the way back, and we bring the whole foot forward. The whole thing solidifies up like that. It's elegant, it's beautiful, I love it. For those of you who didn't see it, because, you know, you need to see it from the side, knee comes all the way up, that starts to fall down, the whole ankle comes forward and the whole thing comes in and boom. Other than having to put the piece in here and on the other arm, we, in essence, see? That's what happens. We in essence have him in his Work mode, in terms of putting those other couple of pieces on that I mentioned, I mean, I think, let me see if I can, hold on, let me see if I can do this right. We'll bring that down here like that. We'll do this and this. I didn't show him holding the spark drinker. I probably should have, oh well. He can dual wield it and hold it fine for the record. And then this should fit on here. There we go, like that. And the other piece, our big boy, will go over here on this arm. Right this way, it needs to go. I'm gonna get that on and then we'll talk about his articulation. Yeepers, jeepers, that was a lot. I'm not gonna lie though, this looks pretty cool. I am disappointed though by two things. One, the box art for this has a gold detail here that's not there. And we're also missing, right here on this rectangular piece, a red paint detail that's not there. So, I don't know. I mean, that's a bit unfortunate, but it does lend itself to the 9.75 as well. Transformation here, I love the lower body. I actually like the upper body, I just forgot about it. The articulation here, I think I said the articulation was like, a 10. However, in this mode, I do find it to be a little bit lacking. Here's why. The head, of course, still moves left and right. I don't think it can move, it can still move back and forward too, so it can do all the things that the head could do. Same here at the shoulders, like they can still go out. We still have this swivel, the elbow. He doesn't have hands now, he has I don't know, excavator pieces, I suppose. They're okay to put on. I probably made it look harder than it actually is, but they're okay to put on. He still certainly has a waist, no problem. Digging this. Oh man, these ratchets are so heavy. Again, the hips, like they'll still go all the way out to the side and stuff. I don't think we have the ankle tilt. Oh no, we do still have access to the ankle tilt, so that's cool. We still have the ankle tilt. The knee. The whole knee now, to my shock and amazement, maybe I can turn this and show you, yeah. The whole knee is a little over 90 degrees, because this is the foot. It doesn't look like it, but the whole knee now is a little over 90 degrees. Whew, sorry about that cutting off. I had to change the battery, and honestly, I didn't notice it was low because I was too busy dealing with his ratchets. Anyway, I just finished putting the arm down. And now bending it just a little bit here. Here's the one issue that I do have in this mode, and I mentioned it earlier about this opening up. So if I want to bring the arm forward and up, like it immediately will untab and this is going to pop up. If I want to bring the arm forward, I have to hold on to this black section and rotate the arm that way. It's the only way to do it because the ratchets in the shoulders are so incredibly bonkers, insane tight. But still, they're there, and if yours are a little looser, that might not happen, or if yours tabs in, like it's just slight tolerance issues. It's not even a bad design, it's nothing bad about it. It's a small price to pay to have such excellent, excellent joints on the guy. So, just note that you might have to hold that in this mode. Okay, so I'm going to remove that. And I'm going to remove that, and I'm actually going to put those back together and put them off to the side. Not for nothing, here we have work mode against the original work mode, though I do like to have this head facing this way, which is actually the back of the head. But yeah, this looks pretty comparable, I do believe. Okay, let's go to the bucket, Wheel-Bucket Excavator mode next. Okay, let's try, let's try and do this. Boy, oh boy. I really hope I can get this done correctly. But no promises, guys, no promises. Where do I want to begin? I think, hold on, this box is in my way. Hold on, this box is in my way. Where do I want to begin? I think I'm going to begin with the upper body, I guess. We're going to start by, we're going to bring that arm down, and we're going to bring that arm down, and we're going to take this up and spin that around and bring that all the way down, and this I think needs to turn around. I hope I'm correct on that. I think I'm correct on that. Then I think the body needs to flip up like that, I think. Maybe that's not right. Maybe it's like this. Yeah, maybe it's like that. Oh, man, this is so rough to try and actually tell. Okay, we're going to bring that forward. There. All of that kind of needs to be positioned like this with the thigh sort of like this. It's a weird way, it's a weird thing to show. Honestly, I find it very peculiar to show it this way, but I don't know how else to do it. And then bend the knee to there, this goes down under. Okay. And now this is a matter of straightening these. Yeah, straightening these up. Whew, I'm gonna lay that down, I'm gonna adjust the camera. Okay. And all of that should just be able to come down there like that, at least for now. Okay. These should go all the way down like that. And then these black pieces that keep popping come out. And they should tab in right there. And this one should tab in right there. And now you should be able to kind of tab the legs together, although mine are not quite straightened up the way that they should be here. There. There. Okay, I think I got that done. Now that we've got that done, I think we can probably deal with the arms next, I believe. And I like these, if I can show it, because really, oh man, am I supposed to, hold on, I gotta check something. Yes, okay, I just want to make sure I was doing this right. So, that comes down thusly, and this comes down thusly, and these flip back to their original position, is what's basically supposed to happen here. And I think this head just stays here. So this should flip to this position, and now bring this down and bring that forward. So this one should also flip back and then come all the way down into that position and forward. Now, there's a little tab, I guess, right here that should go up under. Oh, no, not yet. It doesn't go up under, because now we have to bring this back at this hinge. And then this comes up and under and tabs in right here. Or it should tab in right there. I might have to look at that in a moment. Bring this one back. Bring this arm forward. I find transforming this guy to be a workout because the ratchets are so wildly tight on him. Bring all of that down. Okay, now I've got to try and get... I'm going to get those tabbed in and then we'll continue on. Okay, and the only thing left to do is flip out I guess I gotta split these legs. All 4 of the treads. Why there's treads on the inside of the feet, I'm not 100% sure, but okay, sure, whatever. I'm not angry about it. Put those on. Of course, now none of this wants to actually tab together, so that's great. There. Woo! And finally, we need to put his kind of pieces on. There's a connection here and a connection here. So the 2 pieces of the spark drinker are actually not one piece this time. We're going to take this piece and it goes on there. And we're going to take the other piece with the DNA design part and put it back here. With the DNA design part attached. Actually, I'll get it on and then we'll talk about it. Because I'm going to have to bring the camera back a little bit anyway. Okay, so now, first things first, not for nothing, here's the original next to the Titan. The Titan obviously much larger. And I already kind of showed you the picture of what the real one looks like, so this, pardon me, this being this big, kind of sort of makes sense. These 2 pieces here, I'm pretty sure should have cables attached to them, but whatever. Now, without the DNA design set, first things first, this will roll just fine. It does have some little tires and stuff, so assuming you have everything arranged properly, it rolls pretty decently. Over here, we have a ratchet here, so this piece can go up and down on that ratchet. Same here. Then we get to this one, and that just fell off. Come on now. Then we get to this one here. Without the DNA design, why are you doing this to me? There we go. Yeesh. Without the DNA design set, this attaches and it just stays off like that. There is no ratchet there. With the DNA design set, this can ratchet up or it can ratchet down to the ground, which does make rotating this thing around way easier. So that's a nice piece. Filling in these open sections, both for this mode and the WorkBot mode, are nice. The new hands are nice, and Drillbit, who we could attach up here, is nice. The DNA design set overall is about an 8.5. The transformation for this guy is excellent. The only issues that I have are some of the ratchets and whatnot. Some of the tolerances are super duper tight on this copy. I'm going to give the transformation a solid 9. The guy was already getting about a 9.3 or so, if I'm not mistaken. A solid 9 here. This, as a transformer, as a Titan, is about a 9 to a 9.5. It is almost perfect. Arguably, one of the best Titans we've gotten. Not for me at all. Not in my wheelhouse. But I absolutely respect this, and I really sincerely hope that the fans of Unicron Trilogy also respect this and appreciate just how much love, care, and attention to detail went into this guy. Absolutely astonishing. And here we are once again, and here he is. So, the ratchets are nuts, especially for the arms. But I like that. I would rather things be too tight than not tight enough. I like the DNA design set. Let's do the DNA design kit first. I think having Drillbit is very important to this. I don't think it ever should have been left off. I think that that's a bit of a black eye that it was left off. But DNA design rectified it. I think it's important enough to get that kit for him alone. But the hands are way better, assuming my assumptions about the stock hands are correct. That the thumb is fixed and that the 4 fingers are attached together and only articulated at a base pin. These hands, much better. Filling in the gap here above this double-barreled cannon, I guess. And on the other side, I think this filler adds to it. I think that having the hole left there looked a little cheap when it didn't need to look cheap. And having the ratchet back here, oh man, yeah, to be able to bring that all the way down or all the way up, game changer. This part, excellent, excellent addition. So I love the DNA design set. When it comes to the actual guy, and if you've got the stock one, nothing wrong with it. Other than the hands, the articulation is astonishing with this guy. A couple of the ratchets I wish were a little looser. A couple of the ratchets I wish were a little stronger. But, I mean, that's so minor. Dynamic posing, this guy can do it all day long. Going to work mode, very easy, very nice. I find folding up the legs very satisfying. I also find unfolding the legs very satisfying. I like how the treads actually fold into the feet. Easy to miss them though and leave them out. The stock photography does. Same with the chest flap. Easy to miss that and leave it out. The stock photography does as well. Excellent transformation, excellent articulation, captures the look of the character from the cartoon perfectly. If not perfectly, then the next closest thing to it. It's not the Metroplex for me because I'm not a Unicron Trilogy guy, but man, oh man, I really hope if you are a Unicron Trilogy fan that this is the Metroplex for you because he is nothing short of absolutely splendid. Let me know what you think about Titan Class Legacy Cybertron Metroplex. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you're at it, man, hit the subscribe button. Stick around, please, and thank you. And have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single day, you do make a difference in the world. Whether you feel it or not, whether you know it or not, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way right here inside the videos.